Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, race fans, and birthday well wishers, and welcome to an unbelievably special event to celebrate the birthday of Mr. HFG himself. It's Jeff Trocchio, that's right, and for his birthday, he's put on a huge freaking event. It is a huge freaking grid, and to be here calling all the action with me will be Kain.
Hello.
As we take you through all the action from this is race 1 of 2, you lucky people, and it really is going to be a birthday bonanza as Jeff does, has gone all out and laid on a birthday spread to rival any, as he's taking the drivers and viewers to 90 minutes around my beloved Spa with no less than 82 cars. That's right, 52 GT3s and 30 GT4 cars will duel out around this Art Deco classic, that's a 1920s joke, of a track, and all for our viewing pleasure. Luckily, joining me will be a man more than capable of keeping track of every single car, overtake, pit stop, curb cut and chicane shenanigans. It's Kain.
Good evening and hello again. Welcome everyone. It's finally here, John, and I'm pumped. It's the HFG huge freaking grid birthday party for Jeff. As you said, we've got 82 mixed car grid full of eager drivers ready to go. We've got 90 minutes of pure racing around the 4.1 mile picturesque Belgium classic Spa. And we've got one very excitable Scotsman ready to resume his love affair with this spectacular track.
Oh yes, Kain, we're in for an absolutely spectacular evening here in Belgium. Of course, Eau Rouge, Radion, the Kemmel Straight, Stavelot. Will we see a GT4 sandwich between two GT3s going 3 wide through Blanchimont? One can only hope and pray to the sim racing god. This promises to be all kinds of fun for you and I, Kain, keeping up with all the action tonight. It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely, John, and on our toes we will surely be. As the guys finish practice just now, we'll have a quick rundown of the grid. Decent spread of machines out there tonight. We've got the man of the night in one of 8 Bentleys on track.
On screen right now, looking lovely, sorry.
Does look very lovely, very nice liveries there. Got a couple of custom liveries there we can display throughout the evening. We've got 5 Porsche out there today, 13 Ferraris, John, so I know you'll be
oh yeah,
over just on 25% of the field in a Ferrari, so no shortage of finding those on track. We've got 3 of the 720S McLarens, 4 of the Lamborghinis out there, only 2 Lexus, a little bit of a soft spot for the Lexus, you know, with me.
oh yeah.
Got Aston Martins, there's 8 of the Aston Martins, 2 Audis. We've only got the solo BMW and the solo Nissan out there, so they'll be easy to find as well. That BMW currently in the quickest time out on track as well for practice. Mercedes, 5 Mercedes on track, and that's just the GT3s. And in the GT4s, we've got 8 Aston Martins, a lone Audi, 3 of the BMWs, 4 Porsche Caymans, 5 McLaren 570s. We've got the Mercedes GT4, there's 2 of those. 4 Chevy Camaros and 2 of the Ginettas, John. So as we've mentioned once or twice, plenty of cars to keep an eye out there on track. And let us know in the chat who you're backing, who you're watching, who you're here to cheer home.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I tell you, Kain, there is a lot of fun names as well. They're definitely going to keep any half asleep Australian, on his toes.
Absolutely, John, that's right. It's going to be quite the task. Rattling off all these names, a couple there's Jack Wilkins, Peter Greaves, Jackie Harris, Andy Hansen. Yeah, mate, the coffee's going to be close and ready for me this morning.
Kain, I think, yeah, you may have missed it. Yeah, tell you what, moving swiftly on. One name that we do know, and you won't struggle with, of course, is Jeff Trocchio, and he's joining us live. How are we this evening, Jeff?
Hey guys, excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to a great birthday race with all these editing followers and drivers.
Yeah, but it really does promise that, honestly, that is 3 of us, Jeff. It is your birthday. So let's say you and I pop to your office and have ourselves a little get to know Jeff chat, and we'll leave Kain to perhaps practice some of these names.
Hey, that sounds like a plan, John. We'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm off to put the jug back on. Perfect time for you guys to get to know the man of the hour himself. A big happy birthday. Let's cross to you guys now. Uh-oh.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Kain. I am indeed live in Massachusetts with the birthday boy himself. It is Jeff, 42 years old. He is, 42 years young. The man at the moment. So, Jeff, give us a quick tell us about yourself.
Well, thanks, John. I am been a fan of motorsports for quite a long time. I have a wife and a son who is 4 years old. We're trying to get him into the business as well. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. So, 4-year-old son and wife, happy family man, and I love a motorsport. Any particular motorsport? GT3s, I'm guessing, or something else in there, perhaps?
Well, I do love some GT racing, but I came about on the Formula One train probably around 1988. Our earliest memories are from me and my brothers getting down super early on the Sunday morning to watch on ESPN at 4 a.m. in the morning. So
that is dedication.
Yeah, we live about 6 hours away from the Canadian Grand Prix, so we're excited to get back there when it reopens.
Nice. Have you had many visits there before?
My brother's been every year since 2016, and I've been 3 times since.
Oh, nice. Very nice, very nice. And does your car history, is that something that reflects your love of speed? What type of cars is it Jeff drives about in?
Yeah, well, I did start with a Nissan 240SX, which is a Silvia for the folks in the UK
Nice.
and Europe. But now I drive a BMW 328i.
Ooh, up a few levels from the Nissan, that's for sure. So your computer days, obviously, everyone knows you. Half of your followers are going to know you from the racing, half of your followers are going to know you from the modding side of things. Which one came first? Which did Jeff do first, racing or modding? How did it all start?
Well, the racing I think started a long time ago. That was on the Apple IIe with Test Drive in 1986. But
Wow.
I've done a lot of racing games since then. But realistically, in the past near about 6 years now, I've been working on modding for American Truck Simulator. So a lot of following on Facebook there, and I've learned a little bit about 3D modeling and Blender as a tool to do all those things.
Okay, Blender, I've had a bit of fun with that myself. So 3D modeling, it does sound like it's, I mean, I've watched some of your videos, obviously, and it's some complex stuff you do there. What is the sort of average time scale? I mean, I know that's how long is a bit of string, but sort of what is your average time scale you're looking at for some of these projects that we see you doing on YouTube, Jeff?
Well, particularly the one that's most popular for me is the Project 3XX, which is Peterbilt used in the late 80s, early 90s, kind of one cab configuration. Everything's a little bit different than it is in Europe with you can change hoods here because we have the longer hoods and less cab overs like you guys have.
Okay.
So they would just stick a different hood on the truck to make it like for a different task. So I've been working on this particular truck, which is going to be 8 different hoods in the end. I have six down, 2 to go, and I've been working since 2018 on it. So it takes a good amount of time, especially when you have a family and an actual other job.
Yeah, that's dedication right there. Wow, that's since 2018. Gee, that's 3 years.
Yep.
That's a lot of time. So in that time, I take it you've maybe perhaps don't want to say a worst, but there's bound to be a favourite and perhaps a least favourite over the years in that collection.
Well, yeah, I think my favorite. Well, let's start with the worst first. We'll leave the positive for the end.
Yeah.
The worst is probably the Freightliner I worked on probably for about 6 months or so. I worked with a model that was released, and after I had spent that 6 months and got all kinds of parts made and things working, he came back and said, "You know what? I've updated this, and all those dimensions are wrong." So, and you're coming from a group of people that basically get out of their truck at night and then drive on this trucking game. So they're expecting some realism here. So, having it be the wrong dimensions, I just basically stuck it in the bin for now.
Yeah, that is a painful one. Wow, that's a lot of time down the train for someone to, just a few wrong dimensions. Yeah, and like you say, they definitely want the realism, the truckers, when they're coming on to play American Truck Simulator, so it definitely would be important. So we'll move swiftly on from that one then. What about your favourite? What's been Jeff's pièce de résistance?
I think, Project 3XX is up there, but it's been in development for quite a long time, so I'm going to say there's a wood chip trailer that I've been working on with the modeler that made it, and ever since the most recent updates in the game, it just looks real sweet. Lights are on point. It's a great looking trailer. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, we're actually going to have that on the screen, so you can see that one as we are speaking. Speaking of on screen, Jeff, I noticed as well, we've actually got a little video that we're going to show later, but some of the technology you use as well. I noticed you've got like the motion capture thing in that, so that really is some really, really cool technology you use for that as well. What would you say is your favourite piece of technology for making your videos?
Well, I think that there are a couple of different parts of the videos that I really quite enjoy, especially when you're trying to teach people how to do something. It's very important, like seeing the mouse on the screen and what the mouse is doing. So I invested in some software that tracks the mouse across the screen and lets people know what buttons are being hit when I hit them.
Oh, okay.
And when I drive, I do use Track IR. So when I look around with my head, the screen moves back and forth, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I've seen a few videos of that, and I'm very impressed. I'm thinking about getting that from a racing setup. But speaking of racing setup, of course, you do the racing as well. As you mentioned, Test Drive back in 1986 on the Apple. I'm assuming we've come slightly forward from then. So what sort of sim racing games are on Jeff's horizon these days, and what is your sim racing setup? I mean, you've definitely got the kit, and we can see Spa in the background there, of course. But what kind of kit is it Jeff is using these days, and what games are keeping your fancy tickled?
Well, right now it's just ACC. I love GT racing. I really only have time to kind of concentrate on one game, so that's really what I do for the sim portion. If I'm just kind of poking around with stuff, or my son wants to see me drive things, then I'll usually pick up Forza Horizon and play around with that. And I started with a IKEA Poang chair and a custom wooden desk that I built around the chair.
Nice.
With a Thrustmaster F430, and then moved on to a G27, and then I got a GT Omega stand, and then I decided that wasn't enough, so I got the seat kit with the seat and a 32-inch monitor, and now I'm up to a G29. So it's been quite a level of an increase of levels, we'll say.
Yeah, it definitely happens that way with sim racing. You start off with a joypad, suddenly you've got a seat, a room dedicated, steering wheel. It's easy. When you're not sim racing, Jeff, what else? Is there any other computer games that take your fancy? What does Jeff do in his downtime when he's not tearing up the track?
Well, I was looking through, just today, I was looking through my Steam library, and I have over 130 games or something like that. But probably my most popular to jump into after ACC or doing some modding is Cyberpunk, or like a Fallout type of game that just kind of it's not necessarily relaxing, but it's something other than driving.
Open world immersion.
Yep.
Type thing. Yeah. Take you away. Nice. Well, we are here, of course, for Jeff's birthday and the huge freaking grid. 82 cars, Jeff. Thanks very much. 82 cars we've got. So tell us, I mean, how did HFG Racing come about? Of course, you started with a model, but HFG Racing, how did that in itself come about in the huge freaking grid?
I think that initially it came about because it was, I mean, I've always wanted to be part of the sim racing group and crowd and those kind of things. I wanted to build a place where people can come together and talk about racing and really build kind of like that camaraderie between other racers. And you know, you're not looking to ruin people's races. You're looking to help other people understand maybe what's different about their setups or how they're taking corners or things like that. So that's why we kind of delved into that. I got a hold of Jackie Harris Racing, who has been instrumental in keeping everything kind of tied down with whatever rules and things of that nature. But yeah, we bumped it up to 82 cars because that's the actual grid size in real life. So we like the split up of the GT4s. It keeps everything kind of not separated, but there's always something to do. Once you break away from your GT3s, you're going to come across another car at some point or another,
yes,
which
indeed.
makes it nice.
Yeah, it does. It certainly will. And of course, the track itself.
I mean, the track itself, you can see right over there.
Hanging on the wall there, yeah. Right, it's right behind my head, actually, Jeff. Sorry, let me just move it away so people can see that as I'm in your office. But if I just move it, people can see it. There is Spa there. Let me just sit back down in Jeff's office, of course, in the Omega chair right next to him. Definitely. But yeah, the track, I mean, obviously you're an F1 fan, so I think Spa, really, that seemed like a fairly obvious choice, really.
It is, yeah. It's one of those tracks that I would love to go to in real life and actually see a race there. But yeah, I've always loved that track, just because it's one of those tracks that really, you can have rain in one section and it can be clear as day in the other. It's really, you know, it's a very variable track, and it's so long, and just there's a big rhythm that goes on, and if you're not a part of it, then it's hard to do. But once you get into it, it feels great.
It really does. It really does. So yeah, so how are you feeling ahead of the race? Of course, you're taking part in both of the races. How are you feeling ahead of them both?
Well, I can already tell I'm going to be tired. Oh yeah, GT3. I'm gonna be working.
Yes.
It's no, I'm already tired thinking about it, but I really love the track, and I'm using the Bentley, so
nice.
You know, it'll be get out of my way, you know, big grill in your face kind of car, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Well, yeah, and I tell you, Kain and I absolutely can't wait to get our teeth stuck into this 82 cars. Massive shout out though, Jeff. You mentioned Jackie Harris already as being one of the main driving forces behind these helps, been absolutely invaluable, and of course your patrons as well have helped you get to where you are and made these things possible for you, really.
Oh yeah, and it's only multiplying like tenfold, which is very appreciated. Obviously, these things cost money, not a lot, but a little bit here and there. So having a few patrons on board who are actually contributing to the sim racing side is invaluable to me. So I really thank all of those guys for stepping up for those things.
Yeah, and I'm sure they, like me, would like to thank you for putting on this huge freaking grid, 82 cars. So yeah, looking forward to it, Jeff. Yeah,
it's going to be great. I can't wait.
It's going to be great indeed. Well, that is all that Jeff and I have. That's all the info you're getting for Jeff at the moment. I'm sure there'll be more in the future. But for now, it's time to hand back to the studio, to Kain and I, so we can get quali underway and see just how well everyone's getting on. So for now, thank you very much, Jeff, and we'll see you on track.
See you later.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Kain. There we go, back once again. That was, of course, me live in Massachusetts in Jeff's office. Definitely not the use of green screen, I can assure you.
Yeah, Judd, you tell by the eye contact there, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, okay. And that was, of course, Jeff Trocchio, half-fast gaming, the man who we're here to celebrate his birthday for. And like I say, what a celebration it is. 82 cars racing it out around my very beloved Spa. The qualifying is going on at the moment. It is slightly different to normal qualifying sessions in as much as the racers are doing their qualifying separately. So the GT3s, I believe, yes, they have all qualified. So let us do that and that. I just, basically, if anybody that knows broadcasting with ACC, you want to make sure you're in and everybody's on board before you connect. Otherwise, there's carnage. So at the moment, it is Maxine Batefoulier. Sorry, massacred that name. 2 minutes 17. I was just blown away there, Kain. If you look at that time there, and look at the 3 letters on flashing on the car, BAT, already favourite driver of the day, in the Batmobile BMW, 2 minutes 17.070. That's ridiculous. Dimitris Amoxopoulos is in second, and Alex Nunes a second between those two drivers. That is a huge time. And look at the difference between Amoxopoulos and Nunes. Absolutely nothing at all, Kain.
Yes, very quick times out there, John. That's going to be some interesting racing for the next 90 minutes. We do have, in fact, the GT4s out on track now, completing their qualifying, as you said, final 10 minutes dedicated to the smaller version of these cars. So guys out there setting times at the moment, very much looking forward to all of this. We've got Bullet 8, we've got Chris Williams, we've got Frank Lucid in the chat.
Wow.
Frank Lucid,
hello.
Stream title. Okay.
Oh,
downhill view at speed is breathtaking. It sure is, Bullet 8. And some big thumbs up there from Chris. Hello, Chris. Cannot wait to get this all underway, John.
Yeah, indeed.
07. That's some speed there in the BMW as well. Not a car we often see.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. Yeah, the stream title, sorry, we don't have any control of that. It's just a stream key that we were given. So it'll just have latched on to, I think it's probably just latched on the previous stream. So yeah, I can't actually change that myself, sorry. Let me just check and make sure that we have got game volume though, because that's definitely more important than Kain and I are rabbiting on. It is Spa. It's 4.3 miles long, 82 cars. Did we mention that, Kain? 82 cars. 25% of these drivers are absolutely trying to get in my good books, my friend, with the amount of Ferraris that are on display.
They sure are, John. As we said, a chunk of 25% of the field out there are Ferraris. Just looking through, currently only shows we've got 31 of those GT3s out on track. So a couple of guys missing from the race, unfortunately, but I'll tell you what, that's going to make it a little bit easier to keep track of.
I absolutely love your optimism there, Kain. It's going to be... Oh, why is that not doing that now? There we go. Love technology. Yeah, it is going to be very, very interesting. Keeping an eye on what's going on. It's definitely going to be interesting for the drivers as well. Okay, let's be under no illusions here. That is a very quick time to set a Spa. 2 minutes 17. Let's put that into perspective. It's a 2 minutes 17 long lap. It's very, 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 very easy to run the track limits. And if you've only got a 10-minute qualifying period, your out lap is over 2 minutes itself, Kain. You're talking, you've barely got half of that 10 minutes to actually set a lap. And in that time, you're getting, what, maybe 3 good ones? Slightest mistake around some of these corners here. Stavolo, Blanchimont, up Radion. I mean, you make a mistake up Radion and ruin your lap straight away, which is easily done. Could definitely put a dent, so we could see some drivers well and truly out of position here, and it could be a very, very, very interesting start.
Yeah, they've got that short qualifying period, like you say, very long lap here at Spa. A little bit trickier to get that whole lap sorted and locked in. So absolute stellar performance there from that BMW. Yeah, 217 really had that setup locked and loaded, ready to go. So
yeah, we're on board right now. with Ben Hiltz. He is the leading GT4 driver. He is in a Porsche. He's coming through Les Combes, the right-hander of Malmedy. You'll notice a lot of curb action on this course. Believe me, for the uninitiated and those that don't drive, those curbs bite back. Very tricky corner here through Bruxelles. You almost want to late brake into there. Carries much speed in a late apex. Curb on the right, curb on the left, curb on the right, trying to stay within the track limits. I'm not sure if that was, but Ben is still going then. Coming down at the double gosh. This one, the stuff of nightmares if you get this wrong. Very easy to find yourself off with that crane operator in the distance. Then Lefang, the elongated S. Again, a lot of curb on the right hand side. Try and manage the accelerator to this point. Dab a brake, turn it into the left once again, coming into campus. And then into the ruin of many a driver, both sim and real. It is Stavolo, Paul Frere and Blanchimont. If you make the slightest mistake here, it completely ruins your entire lap. The amount of time you can lose along this stretch of the course is quite frankly ridiculous. This is called Paul Frere. We're coming in, and Blanchimont, where angels fear to tread. Will we see 2 wide? Will we see 3 wide through here? Again, these curbs kick back. You definitely don't want to be half-hearted when you attack them. You will get sent into the shadow realm. Into the last chicane they come, and round the corner into the pit stops he comes. So we will definitely jump off of there, but it does look like Ben has secured the position as top GT4 driver, Kain.
Yeah, has done with a very respectable time out there, just 12 seconds off as all of timings disappear for us. Beautiful. They're set 2.5 minutes to a fairly substantial formation lap. And then we're going to be away, John. So, in total, how many cars do we have on?
54.
54 cars, so quite the field to get through.
Yes, it really is. We've got Jens Harris, the Rapid Drivers Club, bringing up the rear of the field in a Ferrari GT3 car. Of course, Jackie Harris, as was mentioned in the live interview we just did from Massachusetts. He is starting in a GT4 car down near the back. Volkan Bakardan is racing this evening. He is in a Chevy. Of course, Florian is racing as well tonight. Yes, that's right. We've got Mo Omar and Chris Humphreys making appearances this evening. Chris Davies is in the house. We've got Obama. Kyle Harris. He's definitely got bragging rights already over his older brother, considering he is a comfortable 40 places ahead of him on the grid. Denise Pope is racing this evening. Cornelius Filbinger joins us as well. That's not the camera we're looking for, neither was that one. And of course, in his own homeschool colours. I wonder if he's done his driver homeschool. He's not done his driver the same colour. There we go. Well, there he goes. He's in a Lamborghini this evening, is Peter Greaves. Up near the front of the grid, Luke Francis. We'll all recognise that name. That's, of course, Frank Lucid, starting in 6th. Top 4, though, at the business end of the grid for tonight's opening 90-minute extravaganza. Rene Renendito is on the 2nd row of the grid, side by side with Alex Nunes. Ahead of them, on row 1, it is Demetrius Amoxopoulos in an Aston Martin. And it is Maxime on the front row of the grid with that 2 minutes 17, Kain. That is quite the lineup of drivers. No Jason Bacon this evening, which has thrown some of my notes completely out the window. He might be in the second race. That may be the mistake I've made. But that is a jaw-droppingly good lineup there, Kain. You've got to love it.
I love it, we do. Just looking down at the view there from the back of the field. Very promising 90 minutes ahead of us as the formation lap ready to get underway. A couple more viewers in the chat. Johnny Bizza, evening.
Good evening.
Got some love for Maxime just now. Who else we got there? Jude. Hello, chaps.
Hey,
Good
Jude,
evening,
how we doing?
everyone. James Lee's there. Jack Wilkins. Good evening, everyone. Lock in, get ready. We have 90 minutes. Guys are just getting off on the way now.
Yes, indeed they are. Guys and gals will be racing for 90 minutes. It is, of course, Jeff Trocchio's birthday. Hi to everyone in the chat, by the way. Anyone that already knows me knows I've got that many windows open. There's no way I can keep up with the chat as well, but I can assure you. Why is there no game sound? Oh, there is game sound. It's just really quiet. Why is it really quiet? Squirrel. Hi to everyone in the chat. It's great to be here. It is, of course, we are here for Jeff Trocchio's birthday. He is the man that has put this whole thing on. Let's jump back to Helicam because that's gone a bit dodgy. He runs Half Fast Gaming. He started making mods. Quick video here just to see exactly what Jeff is all about.
No, I think I'm pretty good. Yep, so we're back on talking.
And there we go, you can see some of the technology we were talking about in the interview. And yes, we are back talking now. I pressed the wrong button there. There we can see Jeff's motion sensor that he uses when he's making up some of these incredible mods that he does. Half Fast Gaming is his website, of course. And he's got Discord as well. You can jump on there. He does races. As he said, he set it up so that he had some place to race. Oh, we've got a couple of casualties, Kain. Gabato and Toscano both in Porsches, starting from the grid. Sorry, talk about a squirrel moment there, but completely sidetracked. We've got a couple of people falling foul of the press drive, and we're a couple of drivers down already.
Yeah, I did notice a couple of drivers stationary off that formation lap. So yeah, a little unfortunate there. We do have 90 minutes though, John. So one long race. These guys have still have a chance to get themselves back in this, no doubt at all. Very interesting stuff down there in the bottom corner. I had a look through the Half Fast Gaming there. Very, very talented Jeff is. All the work he does there. Through the American Truck Sim modding communities. Yeah, all these little gadgets. I'm researching myself now. He's got some fantastic tools, John. Very, very cool. It's the guys, where are they on track now? Getting around.
Yeah, just coming through the last chicane. So they will be off very soon. Of course, this is the finish line. That's not the case for the start line. They do start insanely on the downhill section at the bottom of Radion and Eau Rouge, so you can fully expect me to be out of my chair very, very, very quickly indeed. It is going to be a 90-minute race. The game volume eludes me once again. It keeps resetting, but we will deal with it as is. Let's face it, as long as you can hear Kain and I bringing you all the action, the game volume is just an added bonus. It is Maxime Batefoulier on the front row of the grid beside Demetrius Amoxopoulos. Nunes and Ren and Dito bringing them up, an absolute commentator. Oh, we've got speeding penalties, it's green lights, there's a drive-through for someone. Number 71 must be further down at the grid. Oh, it's pretty clean. Oh, almost contact there from Rennie. Let's jump on board. Helicam not looking great. Let's jump back through the field, looking very clean up at the start. Keir Perry gets through, Lecky's through as well. Expect Alistair to be challenging for the podium. Macaulay's through. Pete Greaves, Cornelius Filbinger have both made it through. We've just seen a car taken out there. Oh, the timing board is jumping all over the place, so we've got no chance of keeping up with what's going on at the moment. So the GT3 looks like they all got away pretty cleanly, bar one small accident there. We've got a few jet black cars there, so they clearly didn't get their liveries in on time. We'll get that sorted out for the second race. So of course there is a second race to come. Look at the action here. Let me just see if we can get back to the front of the grid.
Oh,
Nope.
we've got carnage on Camel Straight, John. Multiple cars, we've got about 12 cars involved in what I'd say multiple incidents there. Got a Harris brother in and amongst that. Cars are back on their way now, but there's going to be some damage involved in all of that. So I'd say early on we're going to see some dashes to pit stops. Baggerman's there in the Porsche. He's got that drive through for speeding, I believe. In the formation, a couple more incidents. Humphreys and Luen and Kain. Oh, it's carnage, John. Opening lap carnage here at Spa.
Yeah, it really is, and we've got a battle up at the front as well. We'll try and figure out exactly what happened there. I'm just looking, Demetrius Amoxopoulos is having an absolute ding-dong battle here with Alex Nunes, which is playing right into the hands of Rennie, Ren and Dito. Despite what the timing board says, I believe Rennie is actually in fourth at the moment and is trying to get his way back in front of the two drivers in front. In fact, yes, he definitely is. So the timing board is going to change very, very shortly. He is actually in third, with Alex Nunes just in front of him. So there has been changes up the front, and we have Luke Francis. That's like Frank Lucid. That's currently got himself up to fourth. There we go. So he's made a move. So it's a Amoxopoulos that's dropped down big time there. He was on the front row of the grid, finds himself down in fifth, but he finds himself with the best seat in the house. That is because they're about to go up Radion and Rouge and go along the Kemmel Straight Kain and slipstream, looking at how close these cars are. It's going to be full mode engaged going along here for the second time.
Absolutely, you're going to be looking for some overtakes here. As you see a couple of midfields, get some overtakes done in the final chicane. Still, those cars, they are the ones coming in the pits. So, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 currently in the pits. So there's going to be multiple cars here. It's going to be plenty of damage. But yeah, back to Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, these 4 cars then still very, very, very close indeed. Coming down into Double Gauche, of course they will be. Alex Nunes, the man who's benefited the most from that there. You can see just how close Ren and Dito and Francis are. Oh, one runs one way, one runs the other. And that is the perfect example of what I was talking about in the intro. Just how much the curbs here will kick back. And if you take the wrong one the wrong way and aren't fully committed on that steering wheel and accelerator, it will send you off into the shadow realm. And Ren and Dito very, very, very nearly fell foul of it there and almost fully opened the door to Luke Francis, who is very, very close in the Ferrari. He's got Amoxopoulos breathing all over him at the moment, and of course Leckie very close in behind. It would seem remiss, there's a massive battle going on up here at the front, but it would seem remiss to not jump on board with Jeff himself, the birthday man. He's up to 16th position, so it looks like he avoided most of the carnage and he's made himself up a good fight. Oh, and the curbs! Oh, the curbs, Kain. The curbs.
The curbs, John. Not friendly. You want to get out. Oh, very, very close there to Omar coming through. Yeah, unfortunate there for Jeff. He's going to be battling to find his way back to that pack now.
Oh, we've lost somebody up front. Is that a GT4? That's a GT4 car. Oh, there's been a coming together. That's a Ferrari. That's not Luke. That can't be Luke, surely. No, it's not. Luke's still running. Pete Greaves, though. He has made it up several positions as well, currently running in 7th, Kain. Of course, you and I definitely both know homeschool racer. He's slightly quicker than when we first met him, not that he was any slouch back in the day. But yeah, he will be very, very, very happy indeed. Currently running in 7th in the Lamborghini.
Yeah, doing well. Got a good start. Avoided that carnage at the start. Anybody that got away from that is going to be with a heads up, with a leg up throughout the race. Still got that car 24 stopped at the final chicane there with damage involved, I'm sure, in that car as well. So another couple of dives into the pits, plenty of pit stops done. You still in there, possibly receiving damage, so not a good start for some of these drivers out there today, but we have got some quick guys out the front still.
Yeah, we do. We've got some guys that are very quick in the middle as well. There's a battle royale going on between Frontino and Turnhill then. It is Ferrari versus Aston Martin and a Mercedes Watchdog up the inside then. Is he going to hold that apex? Absolutely beautiful move by Rosario Frontino then to take the place. Oh, take it back. Oh, that's the Ferrari we saw. Ditched at turn 1. That's a long lap if you make a mistake. That's actually an Aston Martin, sorry. So that's a GT4 car we see just getting out of the way for the advancing Ferrari. Sorry, so it's Turnhill. I do apologise, it's Turnhill. Oh, we see someone else off in the background, Kain. It is no, I was going to say during the warm-up as well, this track is absolutely not to be underestimated in any way, shape or form. Even by the highest level of drivers, and with this many cars on track, warm-up lap, cold tyres, cold brakes, it just takes the slightest lapse in concentration, and we're seeing what we're seeing, which is a few cars beginning to struggle.
Yeah, pushing at the start, like I said, cold tyres, cold brakes, generally fuels, setups, so we've got more action.
Yeah, Renandito and Luke Francis going side by side there. I think Renandito might have made a mistake going into the last chicane. It means Luke Francis has got the run up the inside going into the first corner. He's going to make that move stick. Oh, they make a bit of contact there, but just enough room left by Luke on the inside. The Bentley falls back into position then, so Renandito back down to 4th position. But I mentioned this a lap ago, it is Slipstream Central on here, and Alistair Lecky's going to look to take advantage of that as well, with Demetrius Amoxopoulos just in front as well. So it is full Noah's Ark at the minute, Kain. It's 2 by 2. Luke Francis and Renandito are going to go hammer and tong. Look, and we can see them snaking left and right, trying to break the slipstream. Who is going to break latest? Who is going to turn hardest? Will we see an overtake coming into Lacooms? Nope, 4 drivers go in. All 4 come through in the same order. Downhill precision driving to stay close. Oh, just as I say it there, Alistair Leckie has a bit of a wiggle on the curves, manages to save it from the snap oversteer. Comes into the right hand and actually gains some time on Renandito there. Renandito might have a problem with the tyres. Bit of snap oversteer on the exit again then. And here we see the Aston Martin of Alistair Leckie definitely closing that gap. And Luke Francis is saying thank you very much and I will see you all very much later. There we see the drivers in his rear view mirror. Operation Alex Nunes then is for Frank Lucid at the moment. Let's jump on board. There's Kyle Harris. In fact, he's apparently, yeah, let's have a look at his livery. Boom, he's got a nice livery running today. Who else we're looking for? Jeff Trocchio, Frontino and Turnhill actually. They're absolutely still going at it. They are very, very, very close to one another indeed. Keeping it very close. Jeff is, where's the birthday boy? There he is. He is in 21st position at the moment. He is chasing Obama down in the Bentley. So we're going to see some Bentley on Bentley action very soon, you would think. We've got Mo Omar chasing them down in the Lexus. We're going to jump back on board with Frontino though. If we can find him in the listed drivers. Oh, there he is there. Squirrel. So Frontino then in the Aston Martin, still putting the battle on with the Ferrari. We're going to see them coming into the back station. Sorry, Kain. On you go.
No, Leckie's got the move done on Renandito as well, John. So Leckie on a charge here.
Oh, wow.
In that Aston, up in 4th place.
Yeah, nice one there. Nice one. So, yeah, Renandito then dropping places. Oh, and I tell you what, he's been saved there, I think. Amoxopoulos lit up his back tyres as he was coming through. Definitely not where you want to do that. It's very much like Stavolo. If you get that corner wrong, it completely compromises your run all the way along the straight. Ooh, that's going to be a track limit slap on the wrist there for Leckie, you would think. Let's see if Luke Francis has made any headway. Still this a very similar gap to Alex Nunes ahead. Alex has another car in front of him, one of the GT4 drivers getting out of the way. Maxime still off and running. And I tell you, Kain, we've actually done a massive disservice. Let's see how the GT4's race is going on. It was Ben Hiltz who took pole position for the GT4 racers, and it's actually Daniel Witzke who is now the lead GT4 driver on track. And it looks like Hiltz has got a bit of a battle on his hand between himself, Clement Norfin, and Jack Wilkins. Oh, Jack has just come into the pits. Oh, so he's taken his mandatory pit stop. So that promotes Volkan Bakırdan to third place in the GT4 race. Wilkins is in the GT3, of course. I would have known that. Let's see how Jens Sandbagging Harris got on. Where is Jens? Has Jens already carved his way into the top 10? Yes, Jens,
just
yeah.
in the middle of the field there.
22nd.
Second position for Jens. So good opening couple of laps there as we're headed into the 5th lap already, John.
Is it? That is as well. 5 laps in. Yes, still an hour and 18 minutes to go. No mandatory pit stop still to take for several of our 52 drivers for Jeff's birthday. At the moment, it is Maxime that is absolutely blowing the competition away. 2 minutes 17 dead for a qualifying time. Not too shabby at all in the BMW, and very comfortably extending that gap back to second place. Alex Nunes in the BMW. Of course, third place, Luke Francis. Frank Lucid, he's made his way through the field, and so has Alistair Leckie. Both these drivers benefiting from, I suspect, some slightly flat spotted tyres on the Bentley of Rennie Renendito, who is currently in 5th and is definitely going to have a battle on his hands if Amoxopoulos can keep it in check and get himself through La Source and keep those back tyres planted. Frontino and Turnhill are still absolutely going at it. Kyle Harris is up to 15th position. He is the man watching, and he is closing that gap. So the fight that was interesting is about to get a whole lot more interesting, and we stick Chuck Keir-Perry in there with a Ferrari. Kain, I am excited to see this 4-way battle, I think.
I bet you are, John. I bet you are.
The track itself, Kain, 1921 it was built, and over the decades it has seen some major facelifts, especially this year. 1979 though, Jeff would have been born, so that was what, Paul Frere, I believe, getting put into place?
Correct. It was the inauguration of the new at the time 6.9 kilometre circuit. New portion between Coombs and the new Paul Frere brand. So, yeah, a couple of changes in and amongst the years it has gone on. Hard to believe, John, they tried to organise the first race here, as you said, 1921. Only one single car entered.
Wow.
So as most European-based tracks in that time started, we sent some motorcycles around instead, 23 of them, at an average speed of 90 kilometres an hour back in 1921. So the track back then, 15.8 kilometres.
Wow. And it is now, what is it, 7 kilometres these days? Sorry, I work in old school miles, my friend.
You sure do, John. 7 kilometres in the kilometres in the
yeah, thanks for that.
System. I'm going to get plenty offside here. I'm an outsider in the metric system.
You definitely are. But let's have a look. We're jumping on board with Jens here. It looked like he was trying to get a move done on Salty there, but didn't quite come to fruition. Still looking very close indeed. Let's see how the GT4s are getting on. Mario, very quick driver as well at the moment. That's actually a GT3 car. Oh, that's just behind him there. Oh no, sorry, that's Drazic. Trying to keep pace with him at the moment. Seen quite a few drivers come into the pits. There, of course, is Jackie Harris. Let's get some camera time for Jackie. Ooh, tell you what, that's Oh, that's 2 cars going through it. Oh, that's actually Alex Nunes. There's Frank Lucid coming up behind as well. So Jackie in the GT4 Mercedes, of course, being lapped, gets off track there. Makes a lot of liveries as well. He made his livery, and of course Jackie Harris Designs. Where is Jeff gone? Let's find Jeff. Oh, he's just moved. Where's Jeff gone, Kain? There he is. He's up to 18, so he's made back another couple of places after that early spin. But there is his livery as well. Of course, plenty of camera time that one's been getting. Kyle Harris is looking for some camera time as well. I did say he was closing that gap, and I wasn't kidding. There you can see in front of him, Kyle Harris and his Team Lazarus. I'm sure it was Big Brother Racing or something along those lines with him and Jens. But at the moment, it's Team Lazarus for Kyle. And he's in 15th at the moment. He's watching, as I say, this battle ahead of him between the Aston Martin and the Ferrari. Within 0.8 of a second is where you need to be to benefit from slipstream. And I tell you what, his brother is looking to steal some camera time as well. So it's a battle of the Harris brothers. Who's going to get the overtake done first? Jens still hanging on the back of Salty there, trying to get one over on that Lamborghini. Not quite managing to pull off this time. We're going to see these drivers come in through the last chicane and get very close indeed. Oh, Kyle coming over the first curve there. It's going to unsettle the car and cost him a little bit of exit speed. So we'll see that Aston Martin just stretch that gap away. Even more drivers coming into the pits then. Keir Perry is the driver in the Ferrari looking to close that gap. We've got Macaulay has made his way up to 8th as well, currently chasing down. Oh, there we go. Wow, there we go. Just shows you how easily Radion and Eau Rouge can ruin your day. And I'll tell you what, Macaulay goes side by side then with Denise. He got a better run up Radion and Eau Rouge along the Kemmel Straight. He's around the outside. Denise falls back into place then. Into the source, both drivers hold it. Oh, Denise goes a bit late on the brakes, turns in a bit late, and that gives Macaulay that position clean and clear then. So Macaulay up to 7th, Denise down to 8th, and she's got Cornelius Filbinger breathing all over her neck at the minute, and I'm not sure why Cornelius' car appear in black. I thought I had his... Oh, it's not... I thought I had his Cornelius Carrots livery. Oh, that's disappointing. Sorry, Cornelius. I don't know why I don't have your livery, bud. I thought I did from the last competition. But we don't, so there we go. Save me disappointing. Demetrius Amoxopoulos came while I wrap it on. We're only 18 minutes in. He's already down to 10th position. So it's really not been a great start for someone that started on the front row of the grid. And it looks like things are about to get worse at the hands of Giannis Tassopoulos. Sorry.
Yeah, Demetrius had that quick qualifying, like I said, started from 2nd position there with a 218 too, so definitely plenty of pace on board that Aston Martin, but maybe not the setup required here for the 90 minutes for the field, so yeah, a little bit of struggle there down into 10th position, like I said. Just a bit of a fight back.
Was that Caldera just taking positions there? That actually was, sorry, I thought it was a GT, couldn't believe my eyes there, Caldera. We were talking about Kyle Harris and Keir Perry coming to take some positions. Carmelo Caldero has just made up 4 places in 2 laps and has just taken another 3 places.
Nunes, sorry John, Alex Nunes just avoids devastation there on the final bend. Had a car spin round, he's just come around in amongst traffic. If the GT4's there, just gets around, so Alex escaping just there, still in 2nd position. Only losing about a second there to the leader as well, so almost heartbreak there for Nunes as he takes 4 cars on the 3 cars on the inside there, 4 cars. Alex on the charge there, getting everybody out of the way.
Yeah, he really is. The speeding against somebody out of the way. Kyle Harris looks like he has definitely got the run then. Out of the source, he was definitely the quicker car. Coming up with Radio and Rouge, he's got the better run and he's got the slipstream. Kemmel Straight will be his hunting ground in the Bentley. His choice of prey at the moment is an Aston Martin, so it's Britain versus Britain along the Belgian back straight. Kyle looks like he's going to have a nibble and falls back into line then, looking to see if there'll be a defensive move. Carmelo has closed the gap and get very close to Turnhill as well. So this battle is getting absolutely unbelievable, and Mikko Rajikapori is closing that gap as well. So this battle isn't doing anyone in the battle any good. The only thing it's doing is getting us massively excited and giving us some unbelievable on-track action. Ben Turnhill is the man leading the way at the moment, but it is Cardello who's closing the gap. Finally we see some Ferrari on Ferrari action, considering they make up 25% of the grid. It is, you would think, about time. That is what we were seeing. Renendito though, looks like we're going to have to leave this behind, because Renendito is getting very close to Lecky again. So this is definitely not done and dusted. Any soothsaying and doomsaying from myself about Renendito's back tyres definitely seem to be put in my place on that one, as he is putting pressure on Lecky from a distance. Through Blanchimont to come into the final chicane. Definitely, you would think a slight bit early. You wouldn't want to be pitting there just as someone else comes into the pits. Pete Greaves made it up a place as well. He's up to 6th now. So he's trying to close in on Luke Francis in 5th. Renendito, as we are on screen with at the moment, is in 4th. Lecky's in 3rd. Nunez in 5th. 5.2 seconds behind the BMW. Absolutely flying at the moment. The quickest lap of the race so far, of course, is Maxime. 2 minutes 18.1, 3/10 quicker than anyone else on track. Absolutely blistering pace in that BMW. But oh, look at that, don't you just love to see it, Kain? 2 wide and 3 wide. Whoa, there we go, round the outside. Oh, that's a GT4 car he's going past there. I thought he'd got an overtake there, but Keir Perry's going to come into a bit of trouble there. Kyle Harris, this group in the middle, Kain, this is just all kinds of fun and games for us to watch here.
Absolutely, John. So head up on the Rouge ready on now. Kyle Harris, who's that?
Keir's gone round the outside. I think Kyle had to slow up for a GT4 car there, and Keir Perry in the Ferrari has said thank you very much, and there is Kyle in the rear view mirror. So Kyle getting caught out by a GT4 car going up Radion Anneau Rouge, and that's cost him a place. He's going to come battling straight back though, rides that curb very aggressively, gets a good exit though, so the battle up in the front. So once again, this battle in the middle is absolutely proven where it's at. Let's get some GT4 time as well. Honestly, can't help myself. This action up the front is absolutely incredible, and there's quite a lot of drivers who have taken their pit stop already. I'm just trying to have a look here. I think the lead driver, it is still Daniel in 23rd position. In first place for the GT4 cars at the moment, meaning Volkan Bakardan still on track to take his mandatory pit stop as second. Clement Norifin is still in 3rd, and then Daniel Schwab is in 4th, with Chad Smith in 5th for the GT4s. We've got Obama down at the back of the grid. Florian in and out with the pits. Nope, out the race. Kadzie out the race as well. Oh my goodness. Let's jump back up the front of the grid. How is Pete Greaves getting on? I wonder. Is he involved in any battles? He's he's in 6th position, looking very comfy. He's got a nice gap both ways. Let's have a look and see. Frontino then is still battling. So unbelievably, Kain, we, even after all the goings on, the comings together, the toing and froing, it is still Turnhill and Frontino that absolutely cannot be separated here.
Yeah, absolutely not, John. I'm stuck on the source here. Plenty of action happened there. After avoiding incident just previous lap, Nunez has been involved in another incident there, so plenty of people losing it there at the source, coming into that final corner, the first corner, sorry.
Oh, somebody just lost it to the source there again. Who was that? Was that Bentley? Was that Cornelius?
That's
no, it
Harris
wasn't
involved as well.
Oh no, that wasn't Kyle. Oh, it was Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle Harris there.
Oh, GT4 car. Oh, right in between Frontino and Turnhill. I'll tell you what, you don't want to get in the way of those two. Seriously, just leave those two alone. Definitely not the way you want to be, and that has increased the gap there. And I'll tell you what, Keir Perry has said, excuse me, Mr. Commentator, I'm going to completely ignore your device, and I'm absolutely going to stick my oar in there. The Ferrari getting very close, coming into the source here. I can barely catch my breath. There's that much action going on. This is why I love Spa. Or as I call it, Spa, hallelujah. The Ferrari getting very close. What, very close indeed. GT4 cars battling out as well. That is a Mercedes, in fact, of Tassopoulos. I apologise for anyone name I have butchered. I do my best at high speed, much like the sim racers do. Ta-da! Keir Perry. Oh, lost it on the entrance there, Kain. I did say that was a corner where you need to, we were on board with the GT4 with the Porsche, and I specifically said you have to be very careful with all the curbs around here, but these ones specifically, they will send you into the shadow realm. Keir did well to keep it on track, but Curse of Spa absolutely just personified in that one little mistake there.
Yeah, 25 minutes into the race. This car's still probably getting adjusted, the driver's still getting adjusted to varying fuel loads. So, still an hour and 4 minutes left. These guys, the guys and girls, plenty to work through for the next hour still. This battle in the mid-pack, John, like you said, yeah, just moving past another GT4 there. Got GT3, GT4 sandwich. Almost at Blanchimont, almost your every wish. Yeah, plenty going on. Car spread right throughout the field. Jeff making good way through the pack as well now still. Just moved past a couple of GT3s, so...
Oh, there's been a spin there. Jens Harris there just avoiding some action there. I don't believe that was Toscano that was involved. I believe that was actually Salty, the driver he's been trying to get past. Oh no, it wasn't. Salty has survived. I'm talking nonsense. Go Salty in the Lambo. So Jens is still running. He's avoided the corners there, but it means that Salvio is going to be promoted a place, and Daniel is going to join some of the GT4 cars very soon. Mario in the GT3, tucked in there at the moment. A bit of contact earlier on, threw him off the track and sees him well out of position at the moment. Tassopoulos though in the Mercedes, trying to make the most of the upset going on around him. It is Rajikapore, again, apologies, a Scotsman that can't roll his R's. Purple burglar alarm, it's terrible. Rajikapore is in the Porsche. This is where you're supposed to speak, Kain. You're not supposed to sit there and go. Rajikapore is in the Porsche, trying to hold off Tassopoulos in the AMG. So this one is going to go on at the minute, and it's Denise Pope versus Cornelius Filbinger with Volkan Bakırdan in a GT4 just ahead of them. Not the combination he was steering. There we go. Oh, and I tell you what, very difficult to be unsighted there for Denise. Almost collected Volkan there. He did get out the way beautifully though, so the battle between these two will continue. Stavolo then, they both got very similar exits, and in fact I would say that Denise probably got the better exit. You can see we're closing the gap. Another GT4 car to contend with here, both going to go around the outside. Oh, Denise pulling up much earlier there, realising the GT4 was going to be an issue. Volkan gets past. Oh, and there was nothing he could do there. And we know who that is. That is Dimitris Amoxopoulos. Started in second, yet pops into the pit stop there, Kain. And just bad to worse for Demetrius. Qualified in second, and it really has not been a happy race for Demetrius.
Yeah, absolutely not. But Aston Martin's seen better days for sure. Going to come and take a pit stop. Yeah, gather some composure there again and set back out. A few cars have made their pit stop. Jack Wilkins in the Porsche, current lead driver, who has completed...
Overtake on the Kemmel Straight. Sorry, Kain, I'm going to cut you off there, as I so famously do, and it's an overtake. It is Frontino and Turnhill, round 72. Ding, ding, ding. Seconds out. Here we go along the Kemmel Straight, and it is the Aston Martin that's going to lead going into Les Combes. So this battle will resume, and there's Volkan Bakırdan again, so he definitely knows how and where to be to get himself on camera. Pleasure seeing you on camera tonight, Volkan, and I tell you what, he is going to have an absolute pleasurable evening watching these battles unfold around him. And it is the Aston Martin who takes the lead at the moment from Turnhill in the Ferrari. Come on, Team Ferrari, you can do it, come on, bring on. So Ben Turnhill then in the Ferrari is now the chasing driver. Ooh, runs a bit wide. Okay.
Ooh,
did your heart skip a beat there when you got both back tyres on that AstroTurf?
Little slap on the wrist there
Oh,
as well
wow.
as he sends it down the inside again. On
Oh,
an
Pete Greaves,
absolute
Pete Greaves,
charge.
Pete Greaves. Pete Greaves on Macaulay. We thought Macaulay was having a good run. Well, Pete Greaves has closed the gap on Macaulay. I don't know if Macaulay has made a mistake. Let's have a look. It's not often we see it. Go look at that. The flaring nostril bonnet of the Lamborghini. He has got a great run through Stavolo. He's not going to use any slipstream from the GT4. They've just flown past, but his Lamborghini is absolutely charging to catch up with that Bentley. Well, we see Pete move up to 6th position. Of course, as well, something I forgot to open, but the pit lane here, Kain. All these drivers have got a mandatory pit stop. Oh, bit of a mistake there by a GT4 car. Leckie's getting very close. I was about to ask you a question about the pit stops, but we'll put that one on the back burners. As Alistair Leckie has said, oi, Renandio, I want 2nd place, my man. So it's Aston Martin versus Bentley once again on the Kemmel Straight. Only this time it's the Aston chasing the Bentley. We've got a GT4 in front of them. Sneaky bit of slipstream for Renandio coming into the source. No way you can go 3 wide into there, so Leckie's boxed in and still in 3rd position. Luke Francis in the background, 2.5 seconds behind him. He's got Alex Nunes then, breathing all down his neck. As Kain mentioned, Alex involved in a couple of incidents at the source, and that car just disappeared under a tarmac. That was really bizarre. Alex involved in a couple of incidents while in 2nd place, finds himself down in 5th, so we know he has got pace. So we can expect moves to be made there. And I'll tell you what, it's all happening here. Alistair Leckie closing the gap again. Oh, look at the line in there. Runs the exit so much better there. Gets just enough curb. Oh, and again. So vital to use the full width of the track, Kain, but it really can be your undoing. I can't stop stressing how much these curbs kick. Bow!
As Lecky gets a little bit sideways again from the curbs, John.
Stop
Yes,
putting
settle
2
down.
wheels on the AstroTurf!
Change your pants, John. Settle down. It's going to be okay. These guys are professionals. Lecky all over the back of Rednet Detail at the moment. This is just, yeah, I'm going to almost a little touch there. Tries to get around the outside. Rednet D's could be feeling all that pressure in the Bentley at the moment. It'll be interesting coming through the final chicane. Lecky just backs off, gets enough room to avoid any dramas. Sees Francis closing in the gap as well. John Nunes is making his way back up that little incident at the source earlier on. But that BMW out in front had it all his own way. No battles. Been carving through the traffic, no dramas as well. So hopefully no commentators first involved in what I
Please don't do that to Maxime. Come on. This is qualified with 2 minutes 17. Please do not be putting curse of the commentators on the lead driver. As interesting as it would make it for us. Yeah, let's not do that to the poor girl. We'll leave her out on track. Tell you what though, we've got an interesting situation developing here. Is the Pete Greaves, Cornelius Filbinger, Denise Pope equation. How does this one add up, multiply, divide? How does it end? Who knows? Alistair Leckie doesn't care. Oh, up the inside! Missed the move through Lacombe, Kain. I'm the worst commentator and director in the world. Alistair Leckie gets the move done. Renandio down to 3rd. Alistair Leckie, full charge mode, up to 2nd place.
Yeah, has been on full charge mode. Lecky started in 9th position, John. So that Aston Martin working its way right through the field early on. Still just over a third of the way through, so plenty of time left for Lecky to catch the leader as well. Looks like that car's been set up fairly well here. Got it very stable out there. It's not going to have it all his own way, but because Rendy's going to be wanting that 2nd spot back, no doubt.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can bet your bottom dollar that Renandio will be doing everything he can to get that 2nd place back. It's a fascinating battle though here again in the middle of the pack. In fact, oh, we're doing this service. Raji Kapore, is he getting the move done? Is he ahead? No, he's still closing into Sopolis then. Oh, so we're getting very, very close indeed. I feel like I'm doing a terrible disservice to the GT4 driver because of all the battling that are going on up the front. Oh, Obama in the Bentley has got a drive-through penalty. We've seen a few of them so far, but from drivers further down the order. But I can confirm that in 21st position, Daniel Witzke is still the lead GT4 driver, meaning Volcam, barely ever off screen, Bakkerdan, is now the second placed GT4 driver, where Clement Norifin still hanging on to third place. I can see Kyle Harris is looking, he's itching, he's not been on screen for a while, so he's looking to get back involved. He's got Keir Perry still in front of him, both drivers involved in little incidents that's found themselves dropped out with a great battle that was going on between Frontini and Turnhill. And I'll tell you what, Kain, Turnhill has taken his pit stop. When did that happen? I must have missed that there, but yeah, Turnhill's taking his pit stop, so these two drivers will be separated, so a bit of peace and quiet. But as I was going to mention earlier, the pit stop here takes, I believe, 7 weeks, 4 days, 9 hours and 72 minutes, approximately.
Approximately, yeah. Very. That's 3% tolerance on that.
Yeah. Give or take a burger stand or two.
Very, very long pit stop. So these drive-throughs very costly for some of these drivers out there. Already been cleared that drive-through, so getting that done and dusted straight away.
Oh, we've got some action here. Is that a Moxopoulos out of position? I think it is a Moxopoulos out of position, but the action we've got at the moment, Luke Francis was on challenging early doors, has managed to hold on to 5th position even though the positions around him have changed, and it's Alex Nunes that is still chasing him down after those early incidents were mentioned, so it's still very close in there. And I'll tell you what, Cornelius Filbinger isn't as close to Pete Greaves as the timing boards would suggest. This is spread out as well. Raja Kapore still all over the back of Tassopoulos. Really, oh, curse of the commentator. There you go. You're welcome, Maxime. We saved the curse of the commentator from the leader. Let's have a look at Jack Wilkins. Sideways Wilkie. Yeah, he is in the Porsche. He's taking his pit stop up in 22nd position, which seems way down, but as Kain and I were just saying, very, 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 very long pit straight indeed, very long pit stop indeed. So Jack will definitely vault a few positions as soon as drivers ahead take their pit stop, especially with the way they are all currently battling it out. But it is still Maxime in the BMW leading the way. Arnage Competition. 2 minutes 18.1. Our quickest lap race at the moment. It's, yeah, I can't even get that in qualifying. But that is the pace that we've got up at the front of the grid. Alistair Leckie still embroiled in a battle here with Rennie Renedito, and they've got a GT4 car just ahead of them as well. Luke Francis looking on intently, still trying to defend from Alex Nunes. A little bit of a gap there now. But it is Renedito and Leckie who are going at it, and they are very, very close indeed. Aston Martin versus Bentley, I would guesstimate there is a good chance you're going to see the Bentley badge underneath that spoiler very soon. So close are these drivers. Oh, has a look. Oh, very nearly got a look at the badge under the spoiler there, Kain. Just the precision. We've seen how difficult it is to drive this track, how easy it is to make a mistake on these curves. To be driving this close to one another at this kind of pace, absolutely incredible stuff. 2 minute 19 these guys are lapping, and just to put that in perspective, Alex's last lap was a 2:18.4.
Very, very quick for race pace. Absolutely. Just confirms why we sit on this side of the races, John, and not behind the wheel. This guy's getting a little bit impatient there, I'm assuming. That car in front of that pack, there's actually a back marker, Antoniak.
Oh, not side by side through Blanchimont. Nope. I knew Rennie wasn't going for that. Luke Francis got all kinds of problems there. Oh, tell you what, Alex. In the back of there, he's got the move done. Coming into the last chicane, that GT4 car could... Oh, the GT4 has made contact. And Luke has made a very wise move there and thought, yep, get me into the pit stop. I'll take my mandatory one right now. Thank you very much. So Alex, once again, Kain. I mean, if it wasn't for bad luck, Alex would have absolutely no luck whatsoever in this race at the moment. You've got to feel for... Still putting in the laps though, but yeah. You've got to feel for Alex in this race so far.
Yeah, been involved in not just the one incident so far, unfortunately. Gets through just in front of that GT4, just in time. Sideways, yeah, he's still on a charge, but isn't he, Alex?
In a position from Rennie.
Very quick, we know it. He's just get past Rennie as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a track cut though. He avoided the GT4, he went that wide. He obviously didn't lift, given the pace he had over Rennie when he exited the corner there. So you can pretty much put money on the fact that he has got a very stern track warning for that. He's going to need to be very, very careful, Kain. I didn't want to talk about it this early because, again, don't want to curse the commentator. We've already seen a few drive-throughs, but track limits could definitely come into play later on in the race if these drivers are not very, very careful.
Yeah, very careful they need to be. It's one of the Harris brothers jumping out of the way of Alex in the GT4. Yeah, very carefully going to have to be, John. As we said, 48 minutes still left in the race. And these guys pushing just as hard as qualifying. Taking those curbs, keeping everyone nervous and on their toes, absolutely. Francis still in the pits getting that stop done.
How's the chat looking, by the way? We're on board with the birthday boy himself. Oh, tell you what, he's going to have a look. He's going to have a look. No, he's not. He pulls back in. So it's another Harris. Ian was saying Jens was just involved in something there. Kyle is the man who is holding up the birthday boy at the moment. So it's Bentley versus Bentley. Slim Chance Racing versus Lazarus Racing. Let's get a closer look at that livery there of Jeff's as he chases down the fellow Bentley driving Kyle Harris. Definitely looks like he's got the pace on Kyle at the moment. Neither of these drivers, of course, have taken their pit stops at the moment. Pete Greaves is up to 5th. Oh, of course, because someone taking their pit stop. No. Has he got the overtake done on Macaulay? What am I missing? Oh, Frank Luce is taking his pit stop, of course. Frank Luce is taking his pit stop. In fact, that is what I went to check. Where has Luke come back out? 17th. So he is in 17th, and Moxapoulos is back at the pits in 19th. Turnhill in 20th, and Jack Wilkins in 21st position. So those are the lead 4 GT3 drivers that have taken their pit stop. Wilkins is just behind Turnhill, so Turnhill didn't lose too much pace in that seemingly never-ending battle. Let's have a look back up with Trokio though. Hey, see what I did there. He's still trying to get the move done on Kyle. Bit of a gap now though. Kyle's pulling away, and the Ferrari still tantalisingly close there. Keir Perry is the driver watching this all unfold in his rear view mirror. Double fist prolapse. Haha! Very good, very good. I should have read that in my head first. But that is a great team name. Thank you for catching me out with that one as he comes up. Radion Arno Rouge. He's got Kyle Harris and Jeff Trocchio, the birthday boy, right behind him. Kain, I'm going to have to mute my mic and giggle for a second, mate. Go and say something interesting about Spa, please.
Thanks, John. Yeah, talk to the chat. Get involved, chat. Who are we watching? Who are we racing? Who are we spectating for? I'm on board with the birthday man himself now as he chases down Kyle Harris in front. Plenty of action still unfolding. Alex Leckie up into 2nd position there, so still on charge, but that BMW out in front all its own way so far. Alex Nunez, like we've seen, plenty of incidents for that Bentley today. One of 8 out on track so far. Plenty going on as Leckie comes into the pits now too, so keep an eye on Francis, Amoxopoulos, Turnhill and Wilkins, John, to see where they will come out after that pit stop.
Yeah, be interesting to see. Also, just a bit of housekeeping. Denise Pope has got the move done on Cornelius Filbinger then. So Cornelius looked like he was putting in a challenge on Pete and Macaulay. Greaves and Macaulay, sorry, that sounds like a football commentary team from back in the day. Didn't manage to get that done, and Denise has managed to close the gap and get the move done. So Datsun Sunny driver there, if you're watching, Kieran. There's Denise repping for the Datsun. Don't know why we haven't got a livery. We'll sort that out for race 2, I'm sure. But it is the Nissan now fending off Cornelius in the Bentley. Alistair still in the pit. We can see just how long the pit lane really is. This is the second half of the pit lane. Oh, Tesopoulos is coming to the pits as well. This is the first half of the pit lane. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about the length of the pit lane. This is the first half of the pit lane. And even I am bored stiff already, so let's not watch any more of that. But Pete Greaves, he's got a GT4 just in front of him. In fact, is that a GT4 or is that Turnhill? Is that Turnhill out of position? I think it is. It is Ben Turnhill. So that is Ben Turnhill, who of course has taken his pit stop to Tesopoulos. Salty and Jeff as well, the birthday boy, coming into the pits as well. Alistair's still in there. It just shows you how long these pit stops take. Alistair's still in the pit stop, only now starting to move. And then as we talk about Radion and Eau Rouge, let's watch the pit exit that these drivers have to deal with. So this is the pit exit line here, and you are unleashed up an uneven, bumpy hill with a right-hand turn, cut a bit of the grass, and then a left-hand kink over an even bumpier part of the track, then left and then right onto the fastest part of the track. Who said this course was dangerous, Kain? Not I, good sir, not I.
Not you at all, John, as the leaders come into the pits as well. Max Aim in that BMW into the pits now to serve that mandatory. So almost halfway through the race, everyone coming in, getting that pit stop done. Another drive-through penalty. Number 16 GT4 McLaren of Colby as the 705 overhead comes over.
The Flying Doctors, they do like to make an appearance every time you and I commentate together, Kain. Love it. Pete Greaves will take the lead of the race as Maxime, Alex and Rennie have all come in to the pits. Oh, the GT4 car getting very, very close indeed. He's managed to get past the lapped Turnhill. Of course, that position will be taken back as soon as Pete comes back. Pete comes into the pits to take his mandatory position, but for now, Homeschool Racer is the man leading the race in his beautifully coloured Lamborghini. As a Dundee United fan, I fully approve. Oh, the GT4 at the top of Radion there. Very, very, very difficult. The McLaren 570S there. The McLaren 570, yep, sorry. Getting itself all kind of in the way there. Denise comes into the pits and Cornelius says, yeah, Denise, you and I are going to battle all the way to the end. Never let it be said he doesn't know how to hold a grudge. Matthew Macaulay is in second place with Carmelo covered in damage in that Ferrari. It is Caldelera. Why can't I do that, Kain? I did it earlier on. Oh, he gets up the inside of the BMW in 43rd position. Gets past the GT4. Still tracking in 3rd position. Frontino is going to be given credit for 4th at the moment. And Alex Nunes is rolling from the pits. Maxine is off and running into Lekumsen. So very comfortably still in the lead. Alex Nunes will be given credit for 2nd place. And here comes Renan Dito, not far behind. So Alex making the move stick. We've got a stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, and that's Golby. How could he get done for speeding in the pit lane? Oh, and I tell you what, it could be bad to worse as hasn't cleared. Yeah.
Serving a drive through there as well, so definitely has gone from bad to worse for that McLaren out there, and not good at all.
Yeah, definitely not. We see
the lead GT4 drivers just into the pits now too, John.
That's just what I was looking for on the leaderboard. Thank you very much. Come on, you go.
Yeah, yeah, you can say those ones.
Scare.
There we go. just into the pits to serve that mandatory. As the lead GT4 driver, got Smith behind, still out on track, so going to take over from first position, but we'll see that likely change once the pit stops have all been served.
Yeah, but well, I was just having a look at the timing boards there to see exactly what we've got going on. Of course, with this many cars on track, it's always great fun trying to keep up with where everyone is. The battle between Filbinger and Pope is definitely where it's at the moment. If I'm honest, I'm waiting on Frontino to come into the pits to see if the battle with Turnhill is reignited. The birthday boy as well, he's definitely looking to get himself plenty of camera time, and why not? He is looking to put moves on Tassopoulos. Oh, Tassopoulos runs wide on the exit. That's Homeschool Racer in the background as well. Up the inside, the Mercedes letting Homeschool right through there, of course. Tassopoulos has pitted, Homeschool hasn't. Kyle Harris, oh, Perry's come into pits as well then. Oof, Kyle Harris and Keir Perry have both come into the pits. Alistair Leckie then will retake the positions after taking his pit stop much earlier. Maxime, of course, it still says it's 6, but we all know that as soon as the 5 drivers ahead take their pits, it will be a case of BMW back on the top spot, and it's very much looking like Alistair Leckie is going to be the one trying to hold on to second position. Alex Nunes very close in attendance, coming along the Chemo straight. Alistair weaving his way through the GT4 cars. Alex with that prospect ahead. Luke Francis, of course, flank. Wow, who can't say Frank Lucid? After me giving you a hard time about names, Kain, I should hang my head in shame. Frank Lucid, Luke Francis in the Ferrari, no less. He is tracking in 4th at the moment. You see Alex run up the inside of Volkan Bakardan, who is, of course, still out on track. In fact, let's just check and see if the GT4s are getting on, shall we, Kain? Honestly, I feel like I'm doing them a bit of a disservice all the way down the list. But it's Volkan then who's taken his pit stop. Chris Smith is the lead GT4 driver at the moment, but of course Witschke has taken his pit stop. Smith will be overtaken when he comes into the pits. Bakardan has taken his pit stop, so he is legitimately in second, and Norafin is still hanging on to 3rd place. Drive through for track limits, car number 81. So Golby's got a drive through penalty.
Kyle Harris.
Ah,
John,
no way.
Car 81, so that's track limits there. Still plenty left in this race, so a couple of drivers going to have to be careful leading into the final 30-35 minutes here. Seen multiple drivers already getting these drive-throughs for those limits, so very testing for everybody out there on track. Testing as well, Jack Wilkins in that Porsche is back in the pits. He was at one stage of the race the lead driver who had completed that pit stop, so he's back in there, possibly getting some damage fixed up. That front of the Porsche looking a little worse for wear. Stop and go cleared there for car number 16. So that must have been Golby, I believe. That's right. So still showing a mandatory pit stop there on.
We've had an overtake. Have we had an overtake? Alex Nunes is behind Luke Francis.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, is that the way that was?
Move done.
Yeah, Francis has got the move done then. Yeah, no, so Francis has got the move done. Oh, boxed in by the 2 GT4s there. They do eventually get out of the way, but that's going to cost Luke a bit of time coming along the Chemo straight. That's going to bring Alex right back into contention, and Raji Kapoor is coming into the pits, which is going to promote every driver ahead, of course, by that 1 position to take them closer to their actual position. Kyle's got 2 laps left to take his pit. Oh, another GT4 car. Jackie Harris there, just in the Mercedes, getting well out the way to avoid this battle between Frank and Alex. Love to see this here. Ferrari on Bentley. Come on, Team Ferrari. As we say. I'm not biased, you are, right? But as Alex Nunes in the Bentley, they're trying to catch up with Luke Francis at the moment. The Bentley, such a mammoth car. I mean, it really is just physically huge, but really is as nimble as it gets when it comes to the GT3 version we see in front of us, and definitely capable of getting the moves done if Luke makes the slightest mistake. But a veteran like Luke, it's highly unlikely we're going to see a mistake, so it's going to have to be one of Alex's trademarked world-class overtakes if he hopes to get himself back into podium contention. He's looking very, very quick indeed. Stavlo there gets the much better exit, and I did say in the warm-up, Kain, if you get any type of mistake there, can really ruin your exit. Oh, and I tell you what, the GT4 car saves the position for Luke there, given the two of them had to get out of the way there. Almost boxed in. Luke lives to fight another day, weaving through more GT4, and Alex has got the move done. Up the inside there, the GT4 traffic absolutely helping Alex's cause, and he gets the move done at the last game. But Frank Lucid is attacking back wholeheartedly. No, he's not. He's going. Oh, I thought he was going to go side by side there, coming into La Source, but they don't. Can Alex avoid the La Source incident? Yes, he can. It's not many laps he's been able to say that. Frontino's still in the pits. I was dying to jump on board with Frontino and see where he comes back out in relation, of course, to Turnhill. The two of them spent their first stint very close to one another. In fact, as close as these two drivers are now, Frontino is about to come out the pits. Will we see that battle recommence, Kain?
Yeah, he's just got that car stopped in the pits, Frontino, so still a couple of seconds left on the clock before those tyres are changed. Where have we got Turnhill coming around? It's going to be... Ooh. I'm not trying to predict anything, but I think Frontino might have that position still. Kyle Harris just coming in to serve that drive through at the moment as well, so not too many drivers out there. Got Golby coming back into the pits to serve the mandatory. I think the 4 drivers left, 5 drivers left out there to get these pit stops completed. Still plenty of time left, 30 minutes left. As we say hello to the chat again, Nathan Tim Bodyguard says hi at Half Fast Gaming. So here for some racing, and we've got Kieran Clifford joining. Seen the Datsun. He loves the Datsun. Big smiley faces there. So don't forget, everyone, jump in, say hello in the chat. Let us know how your driver's going, where they are, what's happened.
Yeah, I'm just checking there on the timing boards. Pete Greaves has come into the pits, meaning Calderera. I'm really struggling with that one. Oh, damn! That was a call together. Sorry, gone. Yeah, what that was. Yeah, that was action there. There was a GT3, there was a GT4, there was a GT4. There were some fences and an overexcitable Scotsman who should probably get taken someplace else. What happened with Jeff there, bud?
Yeah, coming through the daunting or Rouge Radeon section. Didn't quite see exactly the problem.
Oh, he back tyres.
Dramas with that car at the moment. Yeah, he's had plenty of damage. I'm assuming involved in that, unfortunately, and that's going to be tough to bring back. It's a full lap to try and get this car back to the pit stops to make any repairs to that car. He's got a little bit of a gap now, but as we know, so many cars out on grid. This is going to be tough to avoid any more incidents for Jeff getting this car back. We know it's looking very, very difficult to handle at the moment.
Yeah, it really is. That did not look like a happy man-machine harmony we saw out on the Belgian track there at the moment. Just having a quick run through the grid. Daniel Witschke is still the lead GT4 driver. He has got Smith just ahead of him, of course. Chad it is. I was calling him Chris. I do apologise, Chad. But V8 Racing's Daniel Witschke is still the lead GT4 driver. Very comfortable gap he's got to Volkan Bakardan in second position. Can Volkan get ahead of Chad when Chad takes his position? When he takes his pit stop. Chris Davies, track limits, Kain, the South African Springbok driver. Another one falling. 30 minutes to go, and I tell you what, not to be the harbinger of doom, but we could still see quite a lot more given the amount of action that we've seen on track so far.
Yeah, definitely one of the problems that the drivers face out there for 90 minutes is keeping the discipline intact, keeping the track limits to a minimum, Those warnings definitely add up very quickly when you start to just miss those lines ever so slightly. He's just still following Jeff here. Caught a quick look at the replay, and it was at the top of Radion there. Caught a little bit of curb, and there was a car on the right-hand side that had gone through its own mishaps. And I'm pretty sure, well, safe to say, Jeff's tried to avoid that as much as possible, and it's just overthrown the car. It's straight into the left-hand side of the wall there, so plenty of damage is going to be on that Bentley. It's going to be a good chunk of time spent here in the pits. Unfortunately for Jeff out there tonight in his Slim Chance Racing vehicle.
Yeah, but do have another race to come though. He will be racing again, of course, Kain. We're doing it all over again. That's right, we've got another race coming, I'll tell you. Alex Curto here, yeah, we're on board here. These GT4 cars providing as much action as their GT3 big brothers and sisters. Curto on Jackie Harris, of course, the man mentioned as being a strong supporter and a great help to Jeff in getting all these leagues set up. Of course, they did mention, I was saying this earlier before the action kicked off, they've got the website to do the European and American timed races. With them being in America, they found it very difficult to get ACC. So if you want to get involved, Half Fast Gaming. Oh, and I tell you what, Jackie's just run absolutely all over the place there in the last chicane, Kain. And yeah, that is not the position that he wants to be in, and it looks like Curto has got the job done there. So just as we're talking about Jackie Harris, loses the position there, unfortunately.
Yeah, not ideal there for Jackie. Still out there running strongly though. Got some more action. The right hand at the pit exit, John. That's the notorious spot. The cars will lose it there. Quite a yellow flag, and it's difficult for the drivers behind. It's varying speed differences between these cars as they get off the line again.
Yeah, it really is, and we're seeing a lot of GT3 on GT4 action all the way through the field, so all the drivers definitely being kept on their toes. Macaulay, the driver currently leading the race at the moment, still to take his mandatory pit stop at the moment, and Carmelo Cardellero has come into the pits to take his mandatory and get that out the way, so Maxime is one step closer to retaking first position. Still running an absolutely stellar race that has actually got quicker, Kain, since the pit stops, taking 2/10 from that lap time. Quickest lap now at 2 minutes 17.9, and that is a good half a second quicker than anyone else in the race has managed. So the BMW around here, I mean BMW in Belgium, absolutely seem to be going hand in hand at the moment.
Yeah, definitely got that thing set up well and truly. Very, very quick laps out there. Questions from the chat. Altruit. So we got that one out. How many cars are there on track? Currently have
42.
45.
Or 45.
42?
I think it's 42. Oh no, it's 45. It is 45. My apologies. I'm terrible at this, I told you.
Thank you, John. We'll start again. There's 45 cars out on track, so plenty of action to keep a hold of. I'm just looking at the full track map with a giant spread of GT4s and GT3s in and amongst themselves, getting moves done left, right, and centre. A few little mishaps for some of the drivers out there, unfortunately. Alex Nunes there, pushing all the way still. Trying to chase down Lecky at the moment.
Yeah, that seems to be the positions at the top. Definitely not settled at the moment. Frontino is the battle I was waiting to see re-happen. I saw the name.
Yeah, so Frontino's come out 2 or 3 positions still in front of Turnhill, John. So that battle doesn't look likely to resume.
Wow, so Frontino then getting the job done massively then. Got the overtake and has managed to extend that gap pretty hugely after the pit stop. So the Aston Martin will be very relieved at that, I'm sure. Speaking of relieved, Cornelius will certainly be relieved as well, as Denise Popey seems to have managed to get a gap between himself and the Wild Things Racing driver. Still 25 minutes to go though here at Spa. Let's have a look at who is still involved in the race. Sorry, Kain, on you go.
I'm chuckling. Al Truitt has just commented again, math is hard. John does struggle with that. Anyone would think it's his early morning. It's not, in fact. Are you guys commenting the big grid race later? You're talking about the huge freaking grid for Jeff's US server? Then yes, we will be in just a few more hours' time.
Yes, indeed we will. We will be doing it all over again. All new drivers. Okay, I'm getting double readings from people. That's why. Yeah, so there we go. So Jackie Harris is about to be lapped once again by the race leader. There goes Maxime. I was looking there for 27th position, Just Loon in the Porsche. Ooh. The source again, proving to be very, very, very difficult for the drivers, unable to get the tyre, the power down through the back tyres and make them stick, making it very difficult to get a decent run up here through Radio and Rouge. The track temperature has dropped by 2 degrees, but given how late most of the drivers have pitted to change their tyres, it shouldn't affect their pressures too much unless they've got their calculation wrong while in the pits. We'll certainly find that out in 23 minutes time. How is Jeff getting on, Kain? He's down in 22nd. Did he come back into the pits and get that repair, or has he soldiered on, do we know?
No, definitely come in and got that car repaired. It was looking to me undrivable the way it was, so still going to have some damage involved in that car, so it's going to be a struggle to bring it back for the last 23 minutes. Currently in 21st position still. So not all bad news for Jeff. As you said, still got that second event out through it. They will be joining the second race.
No way! Frank's got a drive-through. Oh.
And these track limits providing all sorts of devastation there. So that's Ferrari, John, double blow. Ferrari in.
Yeah.
Likely see Frank take that straight away. He's leading into the pits area.
Yeah, that's just Blanchimont is coming through there. GT4 car coming past as well. So Pete Greaves then. I know Frank and Pete, very, very, very good friends, stream buddies. We've raced a lot together, and I'm sure Frank and Pete were very, very, very much looking forward to the battle that was about to commence, given that Pete was closing the gap. But Kain has astutely pointed out he felt Luke would come straight into the pits to serve that drive-through, and that's exactly what he's done. As we said, this takes up 78% of your lap is taken up with a drive-through penalty, or is that for a stop-go? It's a long pit straight. He's going to lose a lot of time.
The way we look at it, it is.
Yeah.
Very long pit stops, and yes, they are horrifying at Spa.
Yeah, so that's definitely not the way that Pete Greaves would have wanted to take that position from Luke, but Luke is coming through the pits there, so Cornelius and Denise will both benefit as well. I think Calderero will too. Frontalino's going to come through as well, and so I think will Salty. He's going to come around the last corner as well, so it's going to be very, very close there. So Luke definitely capable of making back a few places with 20 minutes to go. How many we will see. Matthew McCauley, 21 minutes to go, Kain. An hour and 10 minutes in tumbling temperatures, and McCauley still running, showing just once again that the Bentley really is the long distance runner on this simulator, and he is going way downtown before he takes his pit stop here in this race.
Yeah, 29 laps into the race, just starting the 30th. Got that Bentley still shiny as ever too, very nice there. Quality's been solid as ever. Still yet to pit, like we said, so it'll be interesting to see where everybody does come out once those pit stops have been made. Third position still a little way down the track there, as well as fourth, so third position just crossing the line. You do know how long these pit stops take, so yeah, Macaulay.
Rajkapuri, sorry. Rajkapuri and Turnhill having an absolute side-by-side battle. I did it, Kain. I'm muting my mic even though you told me not to, but the two of them are side-by-side coming through. Le Source. No, that's not Le Source. That is Lacune. Stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Please don't be Frank. Well, please don't be anybody. You don't wish that on anybody, but you'd hate to see him getting... that is Piotr Podlas in the GT4 cars. Let me just have a look back up here, though. So... Frontino is free and clear, but Turnhill, who was battling with him early doors, now finds himself just being overtaken by Rajkapurki, sorry, and the race leader has just joined in there as well as a GT4 car coming through. I can't believe I've still not had a GT4 sandwich through Blanchimont, Kain. Fingers crossed, here it comes. It looks like we could be lining it up here. We've got a GT3 in the background. It's not Kyle Harris. That looks like a Mercedes at Tessopolis then, coming back into play. Turnhill and Rajkapuri were all over one another, but that one has been put on the back burner at the moment because the race leader come through. And Volkan, never far from the screen, backer Dan. There he is again. Hi Volkan. He comes sneaking through just ahead of Turnhill. Now let's Turnhill through nice and clean. So that's a race leader through. That is Rajkapurki letting the race leader through as well. So the battle will recommence then between the Porsche and the Ferrari. The eternal struggle between Germany and Italy carries on. And it is Turnhill and Rajkapurki that are bringing the battle to life here around Spa once again. Oh, very close is the Porsche to the race leader, trying to make the absolute most of the slipstream there. We still have... No, we don't. I'm telling Porky Pies, because the Bentley has finally succumbed. Petrol tank empty, tyres done. Macaulay is in the pits. Alistair Leckie then coming around through the last chicane. Alex Nunes through the last chicane. He's closing that gap as well. Oh, don't think I hadn't noticed. Renandio is going to come through and take the place as well. Will Pete Greaves, Will Cornelius Filbinger, Will Denise Pope. We'll find out very soon. I would guesstimate that Pete Greaves is definitely looking good to overtake Macaulay. Macaulay is only in the second stretch now. That is, of course, Alistair Leckie we see just ahead of us, and I believe that's Kyle Harris. It is. So Alistair will use the slipstream here. Kyle will, there we go, flash an indicator. Off you go around the outside. I'm sure Alistair would have liked a bit more slipstream there to get this more conclusive, but Kyle will certainly say thank you very much. Team Lazarus. Drive-through for track limits, Kain. Car number 73. That's Thomas Antoniak in the Mercedes AMG. So another GT3 driver. And the majority of these, I know Podlas is in the pits at the moment, serving a stop-go for speeding in the pit lane, but the track limits, it is all the GT3 drivers that are racking them up here, Kain.
Yeah, pushing those cars to the limit for the length of this race is going to result in a few of those DTs, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really is, and they're absolutely racking them up. We're watching Alistair Leckie then. Just got past the GT3 and the GT4 car. He's got Alex Nunes looking to get back onto second place. Renandito is currently in fourth with Matthew Macaulay. It's saying in fifth. Oh, and I tell you what, he absolutely is. So he's held on to fifth position. So Pete Greaves is in sixth. Of course, these drivers all being promoted at the expense of Frank Lucid, who got a drive-through penalty himself. Off drive-through penalty for car number 6, Keir Perry in the Ferrari. Team Ferrari. And I'm not reading your team name again. You're absolutely in the bad books for that one, Keir. Just for anybody that needs a second there to read that at the bottom of the screen. Yep, I read that out loud. Thanks very much. So yeah, another drive-through penalty there. Another GT3 driver falling foul of the track limits. Let's see how Ben Hitz is getting on. He's not in the race anymore, so we have no idea how that's going to play out. Daniel Schwab then. Currently down in 7th for the GT4s, but is involved in all kinds of battles. We can see the Ferrari coming through there. Ooh, very close. Bit of a touch there. Easy, Ferrari. Come on. You've got to let the GT4s Have their space, have their space. He is the driver trying to make moves and catch up on Drasic and Jake Manzo, the Italian driver in the Italian job Bentley. Been on screen a couple of times, but enough about this. Currently in 5th at the moment, meaning Norfin is in 4th. Chad Smith came out the pits in 3rd, which means, although I tell you what, is that a battle between the GT4s? It's hard to tell with the positions. No, because it's Bakardan ahead of him. So is that Norfin? No, it's not. So it's Chad Smith then, who's definitely in 3rd, and it does mean, this is where I was going with this, Volkan Bakardan is definitely in 2nd place in the GT4s after the pit stop, meaning Daniel Witschke is absolutely bombing the base. 22 seconds up the road he is from Volkan, and Volkan ain't no slouch, so it's a great run from Daniel here to lead the charge for the GT4s. Having a look up the front, though, it is still Maxime in the lead, with Alistair Leckie in 2nd place, and a second closer. I really need to say things as I think them rather than one after the other. Alex Nunes is a second closer to Alistair Leckie. That was easy to say. So we can expect that battle to resume very, very soon indeed. There's Jackie Harris in the Jackie Harris Racing livery in the GT4 just being passed. That's Kyle Harris. No relation, those two. Jens and Kyle are related. Jackie, no relation to the British brothers from the Rapid Drivers Club. Pete Greaves thought he was going to get a battle. Well, Luke Francis. Luke got himself a drive-through penalty. Well, it looks like Matthew Macaulay Kain has decided to entertain Mr. Greaves in his Dundee United coloured tangerine and black homeschool racing livery. And this one looks like it could be a very, very tasty battle between two very, very, very competent drivers.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Pete Greaves has been on charge whole race, really, up into 6th, qualified down in 11th, so slowly picking these drivers off as he keeps the consistency, and that's what we know Pete for, consistent and smooth. So he'll be on track. He'll not push any limits here. I'm gonna stop talking. We've got some more action in the background. Antoniak,
and that's Keir as well.
Getting involved in all sorts of.
Mercedes getting all kinds out of shape there, yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of battles and dramas there for Antoniak tonight.
And there's another drive-through penalty. Car number 15. The only thing more difficult than learning 82 car numbers was 30 of them that started the race. But it was still a massive grid.
That's, Perry still.
Oh, okay, sorry, yes.
I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was. Let's have a look. Let's do passenger cam in the Lambo. It's not often we get to see that. The Lambo, of course, is D. Lewis is in the chat. D, look at this. It's the Lambo. Of course, the car D used to drive until he saw the light and switched to the Ferrari 488. Ooh, the Mercedes getting out of the way, and it's very, very close now indeed between Macaulay and Greaves. This one is going to go right down to the end, which is only, it's only 12 minutes away, Kain, but we'll be back. We will be back on the same channel, 1 AM British time. You can work that out in all the other time zones. But we will be back then. I'm too excited about what's going on track to figure out what the time zones are at the minute. Speaking of excitement on track, Luke Francis found himself with a drive-through penalty. Now finds himself once again behind Dimitrios Amoxopoulos, who of course started in 2nd position. Qualified a second behind Maxime. Very quickly fell down the order, finds himself in 12th, and it's very quickly going to be 13th. As we see the move into Lecumbe perfectly executed by the Ferrari driving Go Team Ferrari. Luke Francis, of course known on Twitter as Frank Lucid Racing, doing exactly what it says on the tin. And I'll tell you what, it just goes to show you the pace of the race leader. Here she is there. In the BMW behind Frank, who is currently lapping in 12th place. And Frank is no slouch, so it just goes to show you the level of pace that we've got here. Pete Greaves and Macaulay. Talk me through this action, please, Kain.
Yeah, Pete Greaves just hanging back, just watching where he can get this move done on Macaulay. I'm sure if and when. It's still 10 minutes to go here. Pete's got all the patience in the world. Predicting he should move up into 5th position. Always solid in that Lamborghini, but Paulie, who led for a good chunk of that race after the pit stops were made, still in 5th position, so he's got the work cut out, as there's all sorts of problems in the final chicane there. That is car number 37, Juice Luan, in the Porsche, parked up facing the wrong way, so down in 25th position now. Timing boards are going to update, so not a good way to enter the final 10 minutes of this race. Pierre Perry comes in to serve that drive through, down in 17th position. Plenty of cars on the charge just behind, so going to see that position change possibly, although looking back down through, not too sure. There's Toscana and Tossopolis coming through the final chicane as well, so possibly getting on the way to that move done, although Kier heading out, so it's going to be tight.
Sorry, yep, Kier leaving the pits.
It's going to come out amongst the race leader here.
Oh yeah, just behind Frank Lucid there. He's just come out the pits as well. From, of course, that drive-through penalty. Getting past the GT4 car there very quickly. So it just goes to show you the level place that Frank's actually got. Very easily keeping up with the, well, not very easily, but I'm sure it's not easy, but certainly keeping up with the race leader at the moment. Amoxopoulos is the man just been overtaken. Pete Greaves is the action we were watching. Just got past Volcan. Again, very good friends, Pete Greaves and Volcan Bakardan. Volcan 2nd place for the GT4s. Pete in 6th place currently in the GT3s, and it's him and Macaulay. Oh, he's found the move. He's found the opening up the inside of the last chicane and absolutely moved on. The Bentley gives him just enough room, and Pete Greaves says thank you very much. Let me cross the start finish line for the 34th time of asking, and the timing boards are going to promote me to 5th place. So the hard work and patience, and consistent lapping from Pete paying off. And I tell you what, he's got himself a fair chunk of change there of a gap back to Macaulay already then. So the source Kain once again proving, even in the slightest way there, Macaulay didn't quite get the power down as smoothly as Homeschool did. And yeah, Homeschool, after getting that fantastic move done in the last chicane, finds himself with a nice gap and not giving away any slipstream going along the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, plenty of GT4s in and amongst this action here, but keep them honest.
Yeah, and Matthew Macaulay then in 6th place. So he will try and attack back and get himself back up into 5th, I'm sure. And as Kain was just saying, GT4 action all over the place. So anything is definitely still possible, but it's definitely being held up by the GT4 at the moment. So Pete is going to get himself a cracking run down the field there. Let's have a look further down though and see how the GT4s are getting on. They are all grouped together then on the scoreboard and the timing boards. At least it is Daniel Witzke leading with Volcan Bakardan in 2nd place, 28th on the grid. Chad Smith in 3rd, and Clement Norafin in 4th place. Jake Manzo is currently in 5th for the GT4s. We've got Philip Drazik and Daniel Schwab in 7th and 8th. Fabian Hundebar joining us as well. Ben Hitz, oh no, that's where all the names start to disappear. So Sammy Cal is in there as well, and so is Daniel Vince. That's the top 10 for the GT4 drivers at the moment. Let's see if this is going to produce an overtake here. Well, it looked like Obama was going to get a move done on Eust Loon, but I think the braking zone has caught the drivers out there, and there's now a nice big gap between them. So it looks like Loon is holding on to that position. Chris Davies we see in 24th place after taking that drive-through penalty. Was tracking well inside the top 20, so lost quite a few places there. Jens Harris, oh no, he's not there anymore. Keir Perry in 19th. Kain So yeah, it really is a fall from grace from the Ferrari. We saw the Ferrari battling, Kia battling inside the top 10, but another driver that's fallen foul of those track limits, and one of my beloved Ferraris fallen by the wayside slightly.
Yeah, those track limits we've mentioned more than once, and for good reason. They are very, very costly. Anyone that's been on the other end of one of those knows how long it takes to get through that pit stop. So we see Amar come in for another pit stop here, so possible damage or a little bit of a top up on fuel, maybe 5 minutes left of the race. Just falling short in that Lexus. See if just a little splash and dash for the final couple of laps. Does look pretty tidy, so likely just the fuel top up. Unfortunately, not getting those calculations spot on, and just as costly. Yeah, cars up, down, just a top up of fuel. So Omar down in 24th, should hold that position as he comes out of the pits now. So yeah, race leader, Jod. Plenty of pace and plenty of gap back to second position, Alex. So Alex Nunes in third. Been involved in his fair share of battles as well.
Yeah, he really has. Coming in the source, this has been most of the battles have been pitched for Alex. 3.3 seconds. I did say earlier he'd closed the second on Alistair Leckie. Well, that second gap has not been improved upon. In fact, it has decreased by 2/10. 3.3 seconds now is the gap between Alex and Alistair, although that is Alistair that Alex can see just in front of him. So tantalisingly close there. Going into Lacombe now, that is Alistair Leckie, the man in second place, and Alex Nunes can see that silver medal in his number 13 Mad Racing Bentley. As Kain mentioned, Maxine just bags and bags and bags and bags of pace. 40 seconds up the road from Alistair and Alex, the chasing two. Renadito now 15 seconds down the road to Alex, so not putting on the charge that we thought, coming into the end of the race, and could in fact find himself with a whole lot of Pete Greaves problems sooner rather than later. But it is a little battle forming here. Frontino, not to be outdone by the Rajakoporpe and Turnhill battle, has decided to get himself involved in a battle with Caldera and Filbinger. Of course, Filbinger and Denise Pope were battling out. Filbinger now finds himself 4.7 seconds down to Denise, and with a rear view mirror full of Caldarella, who pops out with the slipstream. Then they're going to go along Kemmel State. Two GT4s trying to get out of the way. Oh, don't understand why he didn't move over there. He had enough space to get across, doesn't quite get it done, and that's going to bring Frontino right back into it. Then they're going to split the two GT4s. Lose at a position we get. Oh, and the Ferrari's absolutely lost it into Lacombe. The curbs. If we're not talking about drive-through penalties and track limits, we're talking about the curbs here, Kain. And yet another prime example that you really do need to be full concentration around this track, right to the checkered flag.
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times throughout the race. That Kemmel Straight into, excuse me, into Lacombe and Malmedy. The GT4 is getting caught up in and amongst that traffic, providing plenty of action there. But the GT3 is battling themselves there. The slipstream, sure, catching a few guys out there as they enter that braking zone. Very, very long straight, Kemmel Straight. So that braking zone's crucial. Get that braking zone a little wrong and end up on the wrong side of the road, and that curb comes right into play, and that's what we saw happen there. Rajakorpi now 14th position's got a drive through as well, so all the way down to the final minute now, and drive throughs still coming out. That's a top 15 battle all over for the Porsche. I'll have to serve that. Well, yeah, not sure. Probably even just leave that one. Back to the chat. Altruit is joining the race later. It's the first race with more than 25 people in it, and been driving for only 5 weeks. A little bit worried, Jod. He doesn't want to make a fool of themselves. I'm here to assure you we are here to do all the makings of fools. We can do that for everybody.
Yeah, believe me, I've got enough fool making in me for everyone.
I believe you are, yeah, you could talk for your country, John.
Indeed, Olympic standard, my friend, gold medalist. I'm just waiting on the call up to go to Tokyo. But yeah, don't you worry about making a fool of yourself on track. Listen, if you'd seen me drive, you'd be out there full confidence. It is the leader on the last lap, though. We will break with my tradition. Let's watch the leader perform the last lap and win the race. In fact, let's give the birthday boy some time as well. Jeff Trocchio still running on 20th position. Drive-through penalty for track limits, not 14. Oh no, track number 64, car number 64. Yeah, it's Raji Kapoor, sorry. He's got 2 laps left to take that. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out though. It is Jeff Trocchio on screen at the moment in his Jackie Harris Racing livery. It is his birthday. Car number 37, Juice Loon, has got a drive-through on the last lap. That is how scary this track is. Right down to the last lap, still getting drive-through penalties, which means Kain and I have got absolutely zero chance of getting the correct results until all 45 cars have crossed the line, as that is time adjusted. Alex Nunes has got the bit between his teeth. 2.1 seconds, so the 1 second I said he hadn't improved on, well, he's improved again by a second, and that is how much closer you can visibly see just how much closer he is to Alistair Leckie there. I seriously doubt it's going to be enough, but the slightest mistake by Alistair, and you better believe Alex will pounce. Maxine coming into Sector 3 for the last time. Stavolo is the next. Oh no, sorry, it's not Stavolo. I'm 1 corner too early there. That's how overexcitable I get when we're getting round this course. Into Stavolo now then. For the very last time, running very wide there on the exit. A few flashing lights. Lights on full beam. Bit of slipstream along. There we go. I think those might be victory flashes of the lights. What are we thinking? That is an absolutely sterling drive by Maxime there. And yeah, very, very, very well deserved race victory from pole position in qualifying.
Absolutely. Set the pace early on in the race. Gives a flash of the final couple of cars in a way. Crosses, it's going to cross the line. Good chunk of time in front of the second place as well. So absolutely stellar race there in the BMW. As they do cross the line, John.
Frank Lucid joining in, the light flashing and wiggling then. I think Frontino's trying to get a move done. Oh, and he has got it done on Cornelius Filbinger on the last lap. Rosario Frontino then makes up a place to get up to 7th at the expense of Cornelius Filbinger in the Bentley right down to the last lap there. There's probably loads of battles going on right down with the GT4s. I know they're all pretty spread out at the moment, but it's Cornelius then who's lost out in a place in the last lap. Still very close to Frontino. Then Alistair Leckie has crossed the line to officially take 2nd place, meaning Alex Nunes will join him on the podium on the 3rd step. Rennie Renandito is going to hang on to 4th position, and Pete Greaves, homeschool racer, has got himself a very comfortable gap back to Macaulay, so very much looks like 5th position is there for the taking. But we'll jump back on board with Rosario Frontino and Cornelius Filbinger, the last 2 drivers on track battling out for position, and the 2 of them are definitely going to go for it. Cornelius in the Bentley. Coming into Stavolo then, last chance for romance then, last lap. Coming along into Blanchimont. Is he close enough to get the slipstream? He's within half a second, so he could definitely use the slipstream here to close the gap through Blanchimont and into the braking zone of the last chicane. Will Cornelius pull off the last overtake of the overtake of the race, coming out with the last corner? Doesn't look like he carried as much speed there through Blanchimont, so it does look like it's game on to Frontino then. Involved the battles all the way through the race. And it is Frontino then who is going to take 7th position. Cornelius coming home in 8th, closely followed by Denise in 9th, Caldalero in 10th, and Salty Kanegleski is in 11th. Luke Francis 12th. Amoxopoulos, oof, full-on contact and airborne down in 13th, Ben Turnhill. In 14th, Rajika Porpe finished in 15th. Kyle Harris down in 16th. Jens didn't finish the race on, and Jeff Trocchio, the birthday boy, finished in 20th position. Although Rajika Porpe got an 80-second penalty, so that might still change. Kain, what an absolute corker of a race that was to open tonight's double birthday bash for Jeff.
Yeah, and like you said, John, that was just the opening. We get to go through this all over again, not too long away. But yeah, super display out there from all drivers, facing all types of battles on the track. We know we get that from the GT3s and the GT4s on the same circuit for 90 minutes, and it sure did provide all of that action for us tonight.
Really did. Sorry, I was just repositioning that there. I think we're going to have a quick word from Jeff. I'm not sure. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. But yeah, what an absolute cracker of a race that was. So many drivers, up and down positions, left, right and centre. Absolutely too much action to keep up with. But Maxime, what a drive. Pole position with a 2 minute 17.0, led comfortably from start to finish. That is for absolutely sure to take the top spot. Alistair Leckie and Alex Nunes closing up. Pete Greaves, what a move he made up the field to finish in 5th. Kain, good friend of ours. Great to see Pete doing well during the race.
Yeah, Pete Greaves, that solid race from 11th position up into 5th place, so top 5 for Pete. Just have to mention, John, you've actually sent me that message. I'm currently fellows.
Sorry, Kain, on you go. Yeah,
getting the better of John again. Managed to bring everybody to stream for a good chunk of 2 hours and still sends the wrong message to people. Anyways, fantastic event. All the chat now, all the game chat, sorry, wishing all the birthday wishes to the birthday man, who did finish the event in 20th position. So not all that bad, and we do know Jeff gets to do this all over again with that second US race shortly.
Indeed he does, indeed he does. And it is with great pleasure that I can actually welcome the man himself into the company after what was quite frankly an exhilarating 90 minutes around Spa. Jeff, the birthday boy, the man that's put it all on. How did that go for you, my friend?
Well, I can't say it wasn't fun, that's for sure. But the had a couple of issues with the with a back marker, but you know, it's all in good fun. I ended up spinning out myself going to the pits, but I think I drove a pretty strong race in the end.
Yeah, a decent finishing position. Looked like you had a couple of incidents out there, some lively back tyres. But certainly, as far as an event goes, you must be very happy. I can tell you that what the viewers were treated to at home for your birthday was an absolute spectacle, Jeff. And Kain and I'm sure Kain will back me up, both absolutely loved it. It was a great race there for you, Jeff.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Excellent, excellent stuff. Well, as Kain and I mentioned, we will be back to do it all again. That's right, the Americas edition kicks off, in a little over 2 hours' time. That's right, you lucky people. We're going to be doing it all over again. So for now, that is all we have time for. So Jeff, would you like to say thank you and good night?
Absolutely. Thanks for checking out the channel, and thank you to you guys for doing all the difficult work booth, and thanks to all the patrons and of course all the followers that are here racing with us today. Really appreciate it.
Nice. Yeah, I can tell you, absolute pleasure bringing this stuff. And Kain, closing thoughts and excitement for the next race.
Yeah, again, like to thank Jeff for putting on the event. All the drivers out there putting on quite the display. We've just got to keep up with it. That's the hardest part. but plenty to see, plenty to keep a track on, and cannot wait for this next race, John. Just in, as you say, just over 2 hours time, we will be back to put this on all over again. Big thank you to all the European drivers out there tonight for Jeff's huge Freakin grid event. I hope everybody had fun. Watch the cast back. Be good viewing, I'm sure. Let us know how everybody goes, and stay tuned, because we will be back.
Indeed we will, indeed we will. As Kain says, go on to the interweb. It's an easy place to go. Half Fast Gaming. Check out the website. Give us a subscribe on the channel. We'll be back to bring you more racing from Jeff. Jeff will be doing more of his modding. He'll be doing more of his racing. There will be another huge Freakin grid. It has been an absolute pleasure to call the race tonight. Thank you everyone that took part. Thank you everyone for watching, and a special thank you to the birthday boy for getting us involved. Happy 42nd birthday, Jeff. We'll see you again in a couple of hours. Good night, everyone.